fellers and fellettes, let's see here. Today is the day we are going to start putting on these cab corners here. I'd like to welcome everybody back to the channel. If anybody's out there, let's see. What I started doing here is we're going to set him up there. And we're going to mark how high up it goes. And we're going to get in here and look and see how much we need to cut out. But what I wanted to do here first, get you guys a light, is I wanted to come inside the truck here and see how high up we're going to have to cut. Let's see if we can get you down in there. Tell you what. There we go. And down there is the problem area. But you see right up here, now my figure's huge. Right above that body line there, it's all good metal. So right down through yonder. See the holes in it there? Getting ready to take care of that the right way. Now why these things rust out so bad on these cab corners? You see it's open back there. This is inside the truck. Seat be right here and the gas tank be right there. That's where the gas tank goes on these old trucks. But all that garbage and crap falls down in behind that shelf there. It falls down in there and it can go all the way down there at the bottom. See, way down in there. Way down in there. There's a sticker or something down there. Ain't no telling what you'll find. If you've got one of these old trucks and it's in halfway decent shape, see down there, that's a rocker. That's the end of the rocker panel down there hanging out. But if you've got one of these old trucks and it's in any kind of shape, it's not hard to lift the seat up or take the seat out and get you a vacuum cleaner and somehow get down in there and suck all that trash out, because all that dirt and stuff falls right back in there. And it just sets for years, decades even. And it'll sit there and rot them cab corners out. That's all it is. If a man could keep that crap out there, it'd be alright. Hang on just a second here. There we go. Yeah. But see, that's what rots them cab corners out. It's all that trash and stuff. Over the years, like I said, this is an old 69 short bed here. But over the years, it's just dirt. Dirt and leaves and moisture gets back in there, and it just sets. And it sets, and it sets, and it sets. And it'll rot them out, boys. That's common. But hellfire, that's pretty easy fix. Get down in there and clean that out. You don't think about it much, but just one of them things, if we knew then what we know now. But yeah, we'll get that. We'll probably start here on the passenger side. That's the side I've been working on anyhow. What we're going to do, we're going to set that up there. We're going to take us a Sharpie and draw right through here. That way when we take it off, we can see how high up it's coming. Now we'll measure and stuff, do a lot better job, but we ain't gonna have to come much higher than this here. I'd like not to even cut that there out. But we're gonna have to come up, I don't know, come up back right through here. It ain't gonna be much. My goal on this old truck is to try to keep as much original metal as I can. Hell, that old metal is a hell of a lot better than any metal we can get today. At least I believe. It's all personal preference, guys. Don't get on me too hard. Yeah, let me hold this, find out a way to put this phone up so you guys can see, and we'll get started on that. All right, I think you got you set up there. What the hell? Yeah. Gotta find my marker and all that stuff. Let's see. All we're doing is just trying to get an idea of how high up it comes here. Wipe all that niceness off there. No problem. Just get something here to hold it on there. Temporarily. Don't gotta be nothing. We just want to make a mark. This mark here really don't matter not much. It's just a visual. Just a visual of how high up it comes. On this side, without using this upper piece here, we shouldn't have to get into this right here. Really all we need is about that much there. So we'll do a lot more precise measuring and all that. But I'm thinking we can cut this patch panel off right here and just use this bottom section, because all this metal here is good. All that metal right through here is good metal. And ain't no sense cutting all that out. We don't need it. We don't need it. I think we can get away. Now we'll go in our measure real good, like I said. I think we can get away with that right in through here. I mean, it's just cat's hair above his body line right here. Now I wish we could keep that factory body line. See it down through there? And the factory always does stuff a lot better than these patch panels. They got the original die. But I don't want to cut it right here. It'll be a lot harder to weld up and just more rooms for error. So we'll come up a little bit out here in this straight part. Now I ain't gonna glue this panel here on. We're gonna weld it. Reason why I glued this one on over here, and I made this panel here, but the reason why I glued it on is that there's no support here. And in my mind, I did not want this here to warp. Your eye will be drawn to this when the truck's finished. So we glued it. We'll just body work this here. No big deal. It ain't gonna be a bunch of mud or nothing. It's just, I don't know, that's probably a little less than 60 thou right there. So we'll fill this here. I just did not want this here to warp. I run into that issue on the Crown Vic. I don't want to run into it on this. Now back here, this truck here, or this panel I should say, these body lines here, that's all for strength. Got one right here. See, you're less likely to warp this panel if you be careful, because it's so big for one, and for two, you got a lot more support here, so that panel won't get all crazy on you. We ain't going up that high anyhow. We're gonna come down through here. So I have a good feeling that we won't even worry about warping this. Now we'll have to take our time, spot weld it, you know, dot it in till you get it done. And yeah, we're gonna weld this in. Everything's been welded on this truck except that one panel. I did not want that cowl panel warping up, and I wanted to try that body panel adhesive. I like it. But yeah, let me get in there and we'll do some measuring. We'll draw us a line out here, the real line that we're going to go off of, and then we'll get to cutting this thing out. Alright, made some measurements here. This one here, that's 8.5 from here. This one here is 7. We're going to cut this one first. See if we can get away with 7 inches. I think we're above the rust here. It's kind of, you see the rust here, rust through. It's kind of pitted up through here. But when you get up in this area here, it seems to be good metal. No pits or nothing in up here. Now, we'll cut it here first, and I'll be able to stick my hand up in there and feel this up in here. If it's still pitted past this line, we'll cut it on up here. But right now, I'm thinking we can get away with 7 inches of it. And then this line here is 8.5. We definitely don't got to go past this line. And right there is the patch panel. So we're going to try to save all this metal here. Original, and it'll be patched. So let's get to cutting and see what it looks like. Good old Z's wheel. Little Harbor Freight. Alright, we got her cut through there. I need to get me a, gotta get us a drill bit and drill out these spot welds here. There's gonna be a couple of them. Yep. Let's see. Let's get us a drill bit. Yeah, that there may work. Trying to get a drill bit that's that same diameter as that hole. That there probably. Alright. A little bit smaller bit there. Let's see how this works out here. I think that's all of them there. Go through this punch here, make us a little pilot hole. Now if I can remember what I did with that small drill bit. What we're doing there is drilling out them spot welds. Typically you don't want to drill all the way through. You just want to drill through that first piece of metal. That panel there. But we're replacing our inners too, so it don't matter. Let's get us something to pry on, see if we got them all. A lot of times you'll miss some of them spot welds. Look at that shit coming out like. Is that, sir? What you want to do? What you want to do? Once you get them drilled out, a lot of times you drill a walk on you a little bit. You'll miss some of the weld. Well, it's all right. What you're trying to do here is you're trying to split the two pieces of metal now. Now, I got a bunch of it split. If you see it through there, it's still together. So I missed some of that spot weld, whatever. We'll try this air hammer here. It'll be easy with these things. We'll stick him up in there, see if we can't get him to separate. Alright, so you can see what we're doing there. Now if I wasn't replacing that inner piece here, we'd be a lot more gentle with it. But since we're replacing this inner piece here, it don't really matter. Now we ain't hurting it with that air hammer. See? It's just sometimes you don't, that drill, if you use it, just a regular old drill bit, you may not get all that weld, that spot weld. You stick that air hammer up in there and just, you've only got a little bit left hanging typically, and it'll just pop it off. And I missed the whole spot weld there. Right there's where I drilled, and right there was another spot weld, but that old air hammer gets in there and it just separates it. So we got it about ready to come off. There's got to be another spot weld down in here somewhere, and I'm gonna have to find it. Now I want to be careful. You don't want to, you got some of this stuff you got to be careful with. You don't want to hurt this inside piece here, and you don't want to hurt the rocker panel's good on this truck. So let me find this other spot weld here and get it drilled out, and I'll cut you back on when we get it out. Take us just a second. Alrighty guys, we got her off there, and I cut you off. Found two more spot welds here. There's one there. There's one there. There's our inside of our old cab corner. Shot, burnt. Ain't no fixing that. Now, man, pack that full of fiberglass and all this. I'm telling you right now, if 5 years, if it'll last that long, it'll start cracking. You paint, it'll start cracking right through here. I'd rather just cut it out, put you a panel in there. Now, if you ain't got the money to do that, or the tools to do it with, then yeah, I'd take and cut it out right along the top of it. I'd pack me some stuff back in there and fiberglass, just something to get them on the road. But I'm electing to do, we're restoring this old truck. I want it to be right. Right there's them other two spot welds. There's hid none of there. There's one right there and one right there. I thought that was one, but it wasn't. It was up here. And then inside here, there were two more. There's one right there. There's one right there. Now, I don't like to drill all the way through. Sometimes it happens. I'll cut that there off. Before I go back with this, I'll weld this here up. I'll weld that up, and I'll weld all this up. That up there. Weld all that back up. And clean all this up real good. That's just surface rust there. That's not pitted. That'll all sand off and be like that right there. But now you can see what's going on in there. I'm going to have to clean all this here up. What? Here in a minute, son. Yeah, getting ready to go in, but I'm doing a video right now. Well, give me just a second, and I'll be done. Alright. Yeah, just showing them the inside here. Now that's that inner cab corner right here. And that's what them pieces laying over there are. Piece here. Now, I don't know how high up it goes. We'll look. Now this old scale stuff you see here, that ain't, as long as that's not pitted. I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of that's just surface rust. And you can sand that off. We'll try sanding it off and see. We might get away with just cutting it right through here and replacing that. Or we might have to replace the whole thing. I don't know. Yeah, it's smooth. And you can see down in here. So before this goes back together, all this has to be cleaned up. Now these rockers right here are super thick. So we'll be able to sand all this here down. Shiny bare metal, grind it down. We're going to treat it with some rust inhibitor, and then we'll put 2 or 3 coats of thick oil-based Rust-Oleum. You ain't never going to see it. And we'll coat the far out of that in there. We'll get it all sanded down, get all that rust out of there, get it treated with some rust inhibitor, and then we'll paint it all semi-gloss black, 2 or 3 coats of Rust-Oleum rust inhibiting paint. And hopefully that'll keep that from happening again. But that'll be on the next video. We got this cut out, and luckily, I don't know if I can get you up in there to see. Let me see if I can get you up in there. L5. The camera's on the other end of my damn phone. I can't get you. Let's see. You can see back in there a little bit. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. I couldn't get you up in there and my phone died. So, what we'll do is we'll pick this back up probably. I won't be able to do it this weekend. I got to work this weekend. But we'll show more about it. We'll get this inner cut out of here. We'll get all this cleaned up. Got to get all this cleaned up before we can do anything else. So, well, anyhow, we got one of them off. What little bit of time I was able to work on it today. Stay tuned. We'll get all this here cleaned up, get it painted. I'll show you some of the products that I use, get this sealed up so it won't never rust again. And yeah, we'll keep chugging along. I was going to say, before my phone cut off, we're good here at 7 inches. I can't get you in there to show you, but it's slick in there. I'll still run. I got to clean this burr off, but I'll run a piece of sandpaper in behind there, clean all that up, and we'll paint back up and in here, seal it all up real good before we close it up. But yeah, like and subscribe, stay tuned. We'll keep chugging along on this old truck. We'll get her going. All right, guys, share it with your friends. Hell, if anything, it's something to do. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.